And welcome to another exciting adventure of Jerry's Garage Talk. That's right, sitting alongside me. Who are you?
Call me Max.
I'm not calling you Max. Who are you?
Nitro Brett.
That's right, Nitro Brett is in here this week with us. We've got a great episode coming up. What we're going to be talking about is tires. I tell you what, things have changed over the years. We don't have bias plies anymore. We have radials. We want to know the scoop on how to change tires, what's the proper tire for your vehicle, and we're going to be talking motor oils. You know what? I'm confused anymore. I don't know if I should use a synthetic blend. I've got an old car. Should I use the Geritol oil? I don't know. Or just regular conventional oil. We got all that coming up on this adventure of Jerry's Garage Talk. So don't fast forward. Don't pause anything. Stay right here. The only place you can see Jerry's Garage Talk is where, my friend?
GoFlow.com.
That's GoFLO.com. Welcome back, Jerry's Garage Talk. This week we're talking tires. I know a lot about tires, but I'm not an expert. This is why I brought in my good friend, Paul. How you doing, Paul?
Nice to meet you.
All right, Nitro, meet Paul.
Pleasure to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Paul owns a Firestone dealership right here in Illinois. Tell everybody where your shop's at.
I'm on Grand Avenue in Lindenhurst.
What's the name of the place?
Great American Tire.
All right, do you have a website?
I do.
All right, which is?
GreatAmericanTire.com.
If you can't remember, if you said it too fast, we're going to have it right here. So remember, you can just check out his website right here. Actually, Paul, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. Today I want to enlighten our viewers and our listeners a little bit. There's some confusion on tires, and this tire you brought in here this afternoon is a P255. What do those numbers mean?
The P is going to stand for your load range of your tire. This is considered a passenger car tire rating, even though it is a tire specifically for an SUV style of vehicle.
Suburban, GMC.
Pretty much, yes.
Along those sides. Right, and then our next number here is a 60R19. What the heck does that mean?
Your 60 series is going to be your sectional width of your tire. Your 19 is going to be your diameter of your wheel size.
All right, I also have the next number we have here is a 108HM plus S. What is that?
The 108H is going to be your speed rating of your tire. This is actually an H-rated tire, which is a higher end as far as speed rating, traction, and temperature rating. Our tire manufacturers rate their tires in speed rating and traction rating.
How fast can you go with this tire?
This is actually rated for 130 miles per hour.
How do you know that? I know you're a smart guy, but I mean, how do you know that?
I just go with the manufacturers. They test their tires up to a certain speed, and you know they rate their tires at that. There are lesser and obviously higher speed rated tires.
So don't go any faster than 130.
No.
What happens if you do? Will it fall apart or anything like that?
Nothing like that.
Okay.
The tires are designed to exceed their speed limits. They rate their tires as far as the time tested on the tires at a certain temperature. That's what they feel this tire is rated the best for.
All right, let's talk tire pressure now. On here we have where it says maximum load and cold load. That is confusing. I mean, how do you know how much air to really put in the tire for that vehicle? What's the best way to determine that?
You can look at your sidewall of your tires. They will all have a max rating, cold rating on the tire.
Okay.
But for the actual vehicle itself, you need to look on the inside door jamb, usually front driver's door, or in the spare tire compartment will give you the actual pressure rating that the tire should be at cold.
All right, now when you mean cold, is that first thing in the morning? The car should sit for a couple hours? I mean, when's the perfect time to check your tire?
Perfect time to check a tire is first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Usually when it's the coldest. Your tire pressures will rise and drop depending on the temperature. Outside and driving it will raise the temperature of the tire, air pressure in the tire.
All right, I also have a Chevy 1500 HT. We pull a camper, a 31-footer on it. Now it's my wife's truck. I mean, how much should I put in there when I'm hauling the camper?
You should probably look at your max rating, most likely in the area 60 to 80 PSI.
You gotta be kidding me, that much.
On the rear tires.
Okay.
Rear tires are critical on towing, especially tow vehicles.
Okay.
Because that's where all the load is, on your rear.
Makes sense.
Obviously, you need to...
You've seen her rear, huh? No, the truck. I'm sorry. All right. Sorry, Paul. But all right, so 60, 80 pounds in the back, how much should I have in the front then?
You should probably have somewhere between 50 and 60 pounds in the front.
All right, if we're not hauling a camper, what would be probably the best way to keep my tire wear? You know what, I don't care what it rides. I get supposed to ride like a truck, but I want to make sure I get long life out of the tire. So what kind of pressure should I be running in it then?
I'd say if you're empty and you're not hauling anything, 60 pounds is probably adequate for your best tire wear on that truck.
All right, and that's all 4 tires?
I would say, yeah, 60 all the way around would probably work well.
Okay. Now, Nitro, I know you had some question about repairs.
But once again, your tire pressure is determined by what your nameplate says in your door jamb.
Exactly.
Okay. Tire repair. I've seen a lot of shops where individuals drive up, they'll pull the nail out, they'll throw a plug in there and send them on their way.
Hey, it's good customer service right there, Paul?
Well, that's not good for safety.
Oh, okay. Enlighten me. What's the best way to do that,
Most of your tire manufacturers do not accept tire plugs as a proper way of fixing tires.
That's good.
Internal patch, or what's called Uniseal, is acceptable for tire repairs.
Okay, when you say Uniseal, what is that?
Uniseal is a combination of a plug and a patch.
Okay.
Depending on the size of or the diameter of your damage. If you got a bolt through your tire, the plug patch has a patch base and a stem that actually goes through the tire to fill the void of the tire, that was created by, your damage.
Now, there's certain areas on a tire that you cannot patch.
Correct.
Tell us what those are.
The areas usually that cannot be patched are going to be from your shoulder to your bead area. Anything, in towards your shoulder, towards the middle to the opposite side shoulder is an acceptable area for repairs.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about rim leaks and bead leaks. I tell you, I don't know if anybody knows, but we get a little bit of salt here in the wintertime. And the salt will get in between the bead and the tire of a car, and I tell you what, it leaks all the time. What's the proper way to do that?
For bead leaks, yes, very common on aluminum wheels. You usually get a bead leak around, where the bead of the tire and the wheel seat. Disassembling the tire, checking their bead for any kind of perforations or indentations in the bead, which will be caused by corrosion buildup. You want to make sure that area is as clean as possible.
Can you take a wire wheel to that on the tire and the wheel itself?
They have a specific tool that they have for actually working the bead. It's a kind of like a grinder, or you can use a light wire wheel, to clean it up. You don't want to gouge your bead too much because you'll actually get into the steel cords. There's not a lot of material that's covering up that steel cord in that area. You want to make sure that this is as clean as possible.
What do you seal it with?
We have a liquid tire sealer. It's like liquid rubber, so it doesn't dry hard, stays pliable. It will seal in small imperfections in the bead. The
days are old of just putting Gorilla Snot grease on here and then popping it and watching the grease heat the ceiling. You don't do that anymore? All right. No. I never did that. I was just...
It's been done.
I know. I see it too. We do that. A lot of times too, if you got a bent wheel, something like that, like on a steel wheel, can you straighten it that way and reseal it? I mean...
Steel wheels, yes. Aluminum wheels have their limit. Aluminum doesn't like to go back to its original form. It's very brittle metal, so... steel wheels can be repaired a lot easier. Aluminum, you have to have a little bit more of technology.
I mean, can you just beat the heck out of it with a hammer?
No, sir.
No, it's not going to work. All right, so things have changed a little bit in the tires that I used to sell a few years ago. You guys still have bias plies?
No, don't see those too often. You can special order them. A lot of the
tractors, or for sort of some of these old cars?
A lot of for the muscle cars, they had bias plies on them.
How long have you been in the tire business?
Tire business, about 12 years.
All right, so you're way too young. I remember years ago at my dad's gas station, we'd get a load of tires in, and they'd have they'd be wrapped in paper. Do you remember that? Do you remember seeing things like that?
Yep.
All right. But you don't have that at Firestone anymore. No. All right. A few more questions, too. Now, when you rotate tires, they're different now. The newer vehicles, they have sensors on there and everything like that. What a pain in the neck now. I mean, you've almost got to go to your owner's manual, right?
Yeah, I had to do that.
Because if not, the right wheel, if you go just... if you cross them, now the sensor believes it's still on the right. Is that true, or how does that work?
Well, the tire pressure sensors, it all depends on the manufacturer.
Okay.
Manufacturers are different as far as their tire pressure sensors. And you also got to look at the tire itself. If it's a directional tire, it's only going front to rear.
Okay.
So it all depends on the tire. If it's not a directional tire and you can crisscross tires, a lot of times the computer will compensate and know where the sensor's at and recalibrate that.
All right, like if we got this P255 60R 19. Now, is this a directional tire, or can we cross this one, or how do we know?
This is a non-directional tire.
Okay.
All directional tires will have either an arrow facing to the rotational.
Okay.
And other than that, if you don't see any signs of a directional, it can get crisscrossed. If it's a directional, it's got to go front to back, or you're going to be not doing the purpose of a directional tire.
Gotcha. Can you stick around for a few more minutes? We got to take a quick break here. When we come back, I got a few more tire questions. Also, I saw you brought some fluids over here, some oil. I got some questions about oils as well.
Sure.
All right, don't touch those knobs. Don't fast forward. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more tire stuff. You're watching Jerry's Garage Talk on where?
GoFlow.com.
This is dedicated to a guy we all know, who taught you how to hit and how to throw. A bona fide star as coaches go, keeps the team moving on his Firestone. Firestone. The players, umpires, folks in the stands see the Firestone performance and think it's grand. So here's to the coach and his Firestone 4 for taking us out to the ball game and more. Firestone. Legendary drivers need legendary tires.
Welcome back. Thanks for coming back to Jerry's Garage Talk right here on GoFlow.com. We've got Paul Burns in here. He's our tire guy. Where's your store again, Paul?
Lindenhurst.
Okay, what's the name of it?
Great American Tire.
Just shout it out when you know the answer, all right? And your website.
GreatAmericanTire.com.
All right, and if somebody goes there, can they find out what kind of tires you got and everything?
It'll show all sorts of brands of tires. I sell Bridgestone and Firestone is my main line. I also sell Michelin, Goodyear. Any brand that basically is out there I can get.
Michelin. Oh, I want to know, is the Model XGV 75 R14 the most common tire today?
Today, no.
On a Tempest?
Not a Tempest.
All right. No, I'm just kidding you guys. Remember that, my cousin Vinny? All right. However, though, I do want to talk to you about, how often should we rotate a tire? I mean, everybody's saying 4,000 or 6,000 miles every other oil change. How important is it?
When I sell a set of tires, I give free rotation. I tell my customers 5,000 to 6,000 miles to move the tires around.
All right, so at least every other oil change at the best.
How many actually come in and do that? Percentage?
Percentage-wise, majority of the people.
Well, they do.
If it's for free, wouldn't you do it?
Sure.
Okay, I mean, if it's not going to cost you nothing. Also, now I know, too, you guys have got these new valve stems in there, and there's sensors in there. How often do those go bad, and how often should you replace those?
The tire pressure monitoring sensors?
Yeah, that's what I said, Paul. Aren't you listening?
Those actually have a lifespan of about 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
The batteries in them do go low, and they will transmit a light on the dash if the sensor loses its battery power.
When they first came out with those things, I mean, I used to have the old Colts 4040 machine. Remember those?
Yep.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't change the tire with those anymore. No. So you guys had to get all updated equipment as well for this, right?
Yes. We got special tire machines now for the bigger diameter wheels. You got to be very careful about the different styles of tire pressure sensors. Some of them, GM has got one. It looks exactly like a rubber valve stem, and it actually unscrews off the sensor inside the wheel.
Wow, I tell you, if you guys don't know what you're doing, go see my tire buddy over here. He'll take care of you. A few other things too. I see snow tires. They're starting to seem to be making a comeback, and I see them on all 4 tires instead of 2. What's that all about? And do you recommend that?
Snow tires, highly recommended.
All right.
If you've got a performance vehicle or just a rear-wheel drive vehicle or even a front-wheel drive vehicle, I swear by them. I have them on my own personal vehicle. I've done testing with them, and they are there for you in the snow and ice.
I got to tell you, the funniest thing I saw this last snowstorm, I saw a 2010 Chevy Camaro. It had snow tires all the way around it. But a guy was actually going down the road and he wasn't fishtailing like I was in my little Chevy truck.
Handles, makes the car like a whole different car with snow tires on there.
All right, so you recommend all 4 and probably... I mean, are they better than a mud and snow and ice tire? Well, I mean, what's the difference?
You have to, fortunately, I don't have a snow tire here with me. You have to really look at up close at the tread design. It actually has miniature suction cups that actually stick to the snow and ice.
Remember the old studded snow tires?
Yep.
You're too young. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember them.
That was great, man. I run them all year long, and I would light rubber, and I'd shoot sparks out the end of the tires there. It was great, but you can't get those anymore. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, I want to ask you some stuff about oil changes. I tell you, it's getting more and more confusing out there. I don't know what tire to use anymore. Thank you for helping me out. And I don't know what oil to use anymore. You've got synthetic, you've got conventional oil, and then you've got something now that's long life oil, or for old cars like Geritol or something like that. So can you help me clear up some of those as well?
My best.
All right, don't touch those knobs. They're coming right back. You're watching Jerry's Garage Talk.
On GoFlow.com.